Oh, wait, hang on. Here we go. Hello, everyone. We're live, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Yay. Hey, welcome everyone to Crossing the Streams, the #1 rated show in every country in the world. We're so excited to have you here. And this is a big show. We brought in amazing guest, Jennifer Hurvitz, but this is the 30th show. It's our 30th birthday. Can you believe it? We've been doing 30 episodes of
amazing
Crossing the Streams.
Nice.
I don't know unless you lean in there, Bobby. All right, but let's kick things off with the theme song. Let's kick things off. We'll get back to the birthday celebration in a moment.
So I start, right?
Do it up.
We should sing. Oh, we're singing? We're singing Happy Birthday. I start the song.
We'll sing Happy Birthday after. Let's stick with
Here's the story of some lonely fellows who spend way too much time watching the TV. All of them have jobs and friends. Well, not really. Just between you and me. Oh my God, I did so good.
They made a live show out of their hobby. Every TV watcher's TV watching dream. Jeff and Ron and Sal and Bob, and there's me. They call it Crossing Streams.
Get it? What I'm doing?
And then one day they went live on all the platforms. You could hear the people laugh and shout and scream. Still can't find another word that rhymes with platforms. But man, they cross these streams.
We cross the streams. We cross the streams. That's the way.
All right. This is so exciting. So exciting. We've got a great show. As we mentioned, we got the 30th birthday coming. I do want to say also, before we get into the big celebration, if you like the host and what you're seeing here, we got live from Detroit, the Jeff Dwoskin Show on all the podcast networks, Sal and Bob Show. You can check that out. Some Nobodies, lots of great shows there as well. So much fun. So much fun. But we do have a special guest. And before we get into the big birthday celebration,
I can't stop laughing.
Oh, look at it. Look at what a great shirt that is. How amazing is that? We got Jen Hurvitz, Weintraub.
Just Jen Hurvitz is fine.
Dating expert.
We dropped the Weintraub.
Nice.
Well, it was on your thing, so I didn't. Okay. Jen Hurvitz. Tell us all about you, Jen. Tell us all about you.
I'm just so glad to be here. I dropped the Weintraub when I got divorced. I love that over there. So I'm just glad to be.
It's on your Facebook.
The personal Facebook. I've got the business Facebook. It's okay. No worries. Just so glad to be here, guys. I didn't know that Crossing the Streams meant, I thought it was like something different, but I'm glad that it's what it is. I know.
There is a public bathroom connotation.
That's what I thought it was.
In the streams.
Yeah. I didn't know. Now
it could be.
That's what I thought it was, Howard. That's what I thought it was. I'm just so glad to be here. So, a little bit about myself. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. Down south. I'm okay with that. I'm here. I'm a divorce coach.
That's good. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm a divorce coach, a relationship expert, and I have a podcast of my own called Doing Relationships Right. So, I'm just here to talk about some TV and Crossing the Streams.
There you go.
All right.
Awesome.
Very nicely done. You should have Bob on your show. He's good with relationships.
Oh, come on, Bob. Let's do it. You'll be a guest.
Cycling through them is what he means.
He's just not good at his relationship with modern technology.
Yes. That is all true, Howard.
All true. We have an amazing show for you guys today. It's so much fun. But just to recap, last week we talked. What was that? Yeah, last week we talked about Grace and Frankie Cruella, June 17th, 1994, the day that lived in infamy, and Frank of Ireland. So many great shows. This week we got a great episode 30 for you. Loudermilk is coming your way. Ice Road. Phenomenon, Physical. Will we like these shows? Will we recommend these shows? We don't know. We don't know what's happening yet.
It's a secret.
Yeah. We got Jason Taylor that says the best theme song singing ever.
Yep, true. It's true.
Thank you, Lee. Wishing us a happy birthday.
Maybe.
Crossing the streams was part of my marital ritual. Oh man! All right, we got a woohoo. We're doing good. We're doing good. So we're live in over 17,000 countries, being simulcast in over 4,200 languages. So it doesn't matter what you say, boys and girls.
Well, for those English, just for those who might not know the difference, we're not actually in that many countries. There isn't that many countries out there. Just last week's guest was very clear about that, and I just wanted to make sure that I brought a little bit of like their essence into this show. So
can I do a Cliff Clavin here on you? Since we're talking about numbers of countries, there's 196 countries in the world at present. 3 of them not on the metric system. Can you guess who they are?
Wow.
Liberia, Myanmar, and us. We suck.
We suck.
Yeah.
Okay, too big here for us to use that.
I'm kind of okay with that. I don't like the metric M. It scares me. Remember that? Metric M?
I don't, it's, yeah. So wait, what do you need? What do you need, Bob, to be able to tell women you're 7 millimeters? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a big show for you today. Let's kind of move into the Netflix Metrix. With Zach Wiseman. Zach, take it away.
Oh boy. All right. So if for whatever reason you don't know what I'm doing, there are 75 million people that have Netflix in the United States. And for some reason, this stupid category of the top 10 in the US in Netflix today showed up a couple months ago. And I was curious why and what it is and what actually people are watching. So how the metrics works is what people watched the most yesterday shows up on this thing today. So here's the garbage that I had to watch today. So come in number 10, Sweet Tooth. We've talked about this. It's been on there for about 3 weeks now. Awesome, weird fantasy show with hybrid animal and humans. Check it out if you're into fantasy stuff. If you're not, skip it, whatever. Number 9, Wish Dragon, a real cool animated movie from China. Talked about it last week, so I'm going to move on. Number 8 is a movie called Good on Paper. This showed up about 6 days ago, and it is directed by Kimmy Gatewood, and you'd probably know her mostly from her acting career. She was in Glow and Atypical also. It's actually written and stars Eliza Schlesinger. She's a really, really great comedian. Also, if you want to see her in a movie, she was in that weird movie called Spencer Confidential with Mark Wahlberg, which is aggressively Boston and very weird. But anyway, this is about after years of putting her career first, a stand-up comic meets a guy who seems perfect, smart, nice, successful, and possibly too good to be true. So this is kind of one of those things where it seems like it's going to be a comedy, but it isn't. It's more of a drama. It's kind of like the Larry David approach where placing themselves into like the fictional character. It's good. It's just not funny. And I was expecting a comedy for some reason. So don't expect that. It is a true story, kind of whatever. It's good, especially if you like Eliza. Number 7. Oh man, there is some absolute garbage on Netflix sometimes, and some of that is called Too Hot to Handle. It's a TV show. Yes. We are in multiple seasons now. This is a show that takes 10 hot singles who are notorious commitment phobes when it comes to relationships, and it puts them in an island villa together for what they think is going to be 4 weeks sexcation. But when they get there, they're told there's no prize money involved, and it depends on them remaining abstinent for the next 4 weeks. So pretty much what this is a bunch of narcissists that really want to make money, but also want to hook up because there's alcohol and they're gorgeous. But here's the thing. If they can not touch each other the whole show, they make $100,000. But if they're caught kissing, that's $3,000. If they're caught having oral sex, that's $6,000. If they're caught having non-oral sex, that's $20,000 that they can lose. So this show is absolute garbage. Please do not watch it. Number 6.
Wait. It's like the opposite. It's like the opposite of my first marriage. Yeah, I didn't have sex and I lost money.
Yeah. So you can see how they're subverting expectations like Star Wars does.
Yeah. Jen, have you seen this show?
I watched the whole first. This is the second season. I watched the whole first season. I binged it. I'm obsessed with it. I can't stop. I love it. It is so bad. It's good.
It is
It's
so bad.
horrible.
It is
garbage.
Aggressively bingeable, though. I will tell you that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But they're like, let's just have sex. And everyone's like, don't have sex. We're going to lose money. And go, but I want to have sex. And that's it.
They're allowed to masturbate. They're not allowed to work to beat off.
No.
Lose money if they touch them.
40 days,
also,
40 nights with what's his name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, weird show. Watch it if you're into that, but know that it is not good. Number 6, Coco Melon. I don't understand why this is America's babysitter, but Coco Melon is watched every day, and I've seen it, and there is no reason for anyone to watch this, so it can only be so that kids can look at lights flashing around and not burn themselves on a stove. Number 5, Fatherhood. I talked about this last week. I hate Kevin Hart, so I'm gonna move on. Number 4, 7 Deadly Sins.
So nobody's watched that yet?
What's that?
Did you watch it though?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it last week. It's not bad. It's a drama. Okay. Kevin Hart does a good job acting in it, but he's obviously trying to be like a good actor. The problem is that I just do not like him in real life, so I had a hard time kind of hopping onto his character. It's a fine movie about a dad and his daughter.
Yeah, it looks like predictable, but I'll probably watch it just for the hell of it. But I didn't know somebody reviewed it last week or whatever. But okay.
No, he just covered it real quick in the top 10.
Yeah, it was just on this
for the next 5 weeks.
After the show, I'll explain the format too.
Sorry,
we've only done it 30 times.
No, you're fine. But yeah, it's good. It's good. It's just if you like Kevin Hart, you're gonna love this. It's just him yelling until people laugh, and then he tries to be serious, and The Rock's not there, so it's not that good. But yeah, so number 4, 7 Deadly Sins. This is a crazy anime. It's 5 seasons, 70 episodes. It is about the 7 deadly sins and also like nights that are holy. It is wild. If you're into anime, you're gonna love this thing. If you don't like anime, you're gonna hate it. But I happen to like it. The heroes are likable. I like this guy Hawk. He can only fly, but he has really no special powers. He just likes to talk a lot. At times he exhibits courage and decency that outshines some of the heroes. But yeah, if you don't like anime, move on. Number 3, Sex Life. This is a really bad TV show that showed up 5 days ago. 8 episodes. It's about a suburban mother of 2 that takes a fantasy-charged trip down memory lane that sets her very married present on a collision course with her wild child past. This is created by Stacy Rukasser, who also created the series. And it stars Sarah Shahi and Mike Vogel, who you might know as the main guy from Cloverfield 1, the good one, not like the other garbage weird stuff. But so this is loosely based on a book called 44 Chapters about 4 men. But it is loosely based on it. Not really. It's maybe one of the 44 chapters, but it is not very good. It's like if you sprinkled the worst part of Desperate Housewives, and in that one episode no one can remember from Sex and the City, and then the third movie of 50 Shades of Grey, and that's kind of what you have in this thing. But it kind of works the way you think it is. She's got a problem. She starts maybe she wants to cheat on her husband because she can't really talk to her husband, even though they have a perfect relationship, and she doesn't want to have a divorce. But she
see me.
But her job is what you do. Her job is she's a psychologist and works on relationships. Yeah, so which is very weird. But yeah, this is not good, and I'm very sorry about that. Number 2, The Ice Road. Someone is going to go over this later.
Oh, and the top 10. All right, I was gonna say it.
And I'll wait to see what they think because I do not want to upset anyone. Number 1, Manifest. We actually talked about this last week. It was number 2 last week, which can tell you how much garbage is on Netflix when a bad show from last week can become number 1 this week. I've actually never seen that in the multiple weeks that I've been doing this. And if you don't remember, Manifest is about that commercial airliner that just suddenly reappears after being missing for 5 years, and whatever. It's weird. Watch season 1 if you want to see anything. Do not get past that. And so that is what Netflix told me is America is watching right now. Well, yesterday, I guess.
Wow. Good job. Excellent.
I love how it worked out. There were so many sex shows and Jen's the guest.
I know.
I love it. I love it.
We talked about iCarly this week.
I did not have to until right now. Now I have to. But yeah, there is a reboot, and the thing is, like, I'm not against the reboot. I'm okay with the reboot. My problem was with the original show, with the creator of the original show, and the content, which is absolute garbage. But whatever. I'm into the reboot, and I will check it out. But yeah, that's what Netflix gave me today.
Thanks for the report.
Wow,
Nice.
that's a
All
nice
right.
job. Nice job, Zach.
Nice
Excellent.
job. That was the Netflix Metrix. All right.
Excellent job.
We do
All
need a
right. Hey,
stinger.
for those
We need a
of
stinger.
you paying attention, Bob is still
How long
here.
will Bob
Bob
be here?
is still here.
He's
So
Relation, baby.
No crackle, snap, or pop.
no.
Or snap, crackle, and pop.
Just all right. So that was good. I do want to say we don't have a Loki update, but
I have a Loki update.
But I have been watching Kevin Can Fuck Himself, and it continues to be a brilliantly
superb.
wonderful movie.
Superb and so unique. And I have a Loki episode. I watched the fourth episode today.
Ooh,
I didn't
this
watch
one
that.
yet.
Wait, what is that on? What channel?
Kevin Can Fuck
Disney.
Himself is on AMC.
Like with The Walking Dead, where The Walking Dead is.
I don't have that. I don't think. Do I have it on Roku?
You probably do. Yeah.
Okay, I'll find it.
It's great, Jen. You'll love it.
No. Do you keep your Roku up here?
Yes, I do. It's right. Well, because it's right there. It's literally right above me. Because I wanted to. Don't ask. Yes, it's right there.
Yeah. So today, the fourth episode of Loki was by far the third episode. I thought was very mediocre, and I wasn't sure where it was going. This episode, the opposite. Excellent, and now I'm super excited about the remaining episodes. So great cameo from the MCU in this episode, and really good. So
The thing I love about all the MCU shows is you look and you're like, oh my god, 47 minutes. Do I have 47 minutes to watch the show? And it's like, oh, it's only 20 minutes. The ending credits are 30 minutes long. So
Those credits go on forever, don't they?
they do. And
post-credit snippet in this one.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, hey, since Zach teed it up, I know we're getting letters. People want to know, what do we think about The Ice Road, starring Liam Neeson and Lawrence Fishburne? So, Sal D'Amelio.
Right. Well, yeah, I didn't want to spoil Zach's top 10 there, but so I watched this movie because it has Liam Neeson in it. I mean, who doesn't like this guy, right? And the next movie he's going to do is going to be filmed in Michigan. It's going to be called The Potholes on the Road. Hey-o! So anyway, this is a movie starring Liam Neeson. It just came out on Netflix. Basically, it's about him and his brother. His brother suffers from PTSD. They're truck drivers. And there's this explosion in this mine, and there's miners that are trapped in there. It's in Manitoba, so it's very hard to get to. Basically, there's a frozen ocean, and they have this one road that takes like 7-8 hours to drive on, and they've got to go there. They need some truck drivers, and they were the only ones available, or one of the ones that interviewed him and his brother, and all kinds of mayhem because they put a $200,000 kind of reward to go try to save these miners and stuff, because they got to get there to do something to plug up the hole that's causing the mine or whatever. Anyway, it was and so the whole movie is a lot on this road, on this icy road, which obviously is the name of the movie, but they spend way too much time, I think, on there. Lawrence Fishburne is in it as well. And I looked on there. It says it was filmed in February of 2020. I'm not trying to be like funny about COVID, but maybe Lawrence got COVID or something, because he's not in the movie very long. I swear to God, he's in there for like, I was telling Bob, he's in there for like not very long. But anyway, don't want to spoil it. But he's not in there very long. And
I'm not clear. How long was he in the movie?
Not very long.
Not in there very long.
Not very long.
Sorry,
my mic was going in and out.
I would think that a guy with that kind of that kind of clout would be in the movie a little longer. That's all. But it's not a very long movie, hour and 48 minutes. And anyway. I don't want to ruin it for everybody because it kind of just came out, but I looked at some of the other reviews. I want to hear Zach's review here in a minute. It like I said, it's got the Liam Neeson moments in it. It's got, if you like semi trucks and trailers getting hooked up, if you've always wanted to see how tow trucks work on 96 every day, or your favorite expressway near your town, it's a great movie.
6-year-old.
You see like things clanking and trucks kind of moving on ice and stuff. If you want to see that, you got a good movie. If you want to see Liam kind of screaming and yelling sometimes like he does that. I didn't like
killing the Albanians.
It sounds awful.
Guys, we got the best comment ever. I have a very specific truck with a very specific set of chains.
I'm sorry. Liam Neeson's best character by far was his cameo in the first in Ted. That's his.
In what?
That's his, in Ted,
Oh.
the Ted movie, when he's buying Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
But so anyway, if you want to see that, it's okay. I give it personally. I'm going to give it 3 tomato sauce jars. Jeff Dwoskin.
Out of what?
Although
What's out of Jeff?
5.
Although it's on Netflix, I think if you're streaming it for $8.99 a month, it's worth watching. Zach, please give me your review on the movie.
Yeah, it does have Liam Neeson yelling, and there is a lot of noise that is made from trucks. But I'm gonna say that it was not good. It was
thank God.
a lot of the money. You can tell the reason Lawrence Fishburne isn't in it is because they could not afford him for more than 10 minutes. It was the special effects are Sharknado level, and like even like the physics just don't like. There's like 25 tons of stuff on the back of this truck, and they're whipping around like they're in Fast and Furious over this thing. It's I mean, it is a fun watch, but do not expect anything whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, you think like it's written by the guy who
Phantom Menace, kind of.
It's better writing than Phantom Menace. It's written by the guy who wrote Armageddon and who also wrote Die Hard with a Vengeance, right?
And it should have been good.
But it's directed by the guy who wrote and directed that 2004 turd The Punisher. So you can see where like you swerve on icy roads to use a metaphor. But yeah, it's fun to watch, but you don't need to listen to it or pay attention to it whatsoever.
Very, very well said. I think an hour and 48 was exactly the right time. I think at 2 hours it would have been like,
Yeah.
That 12 minutes would have been
it was Armageddon though. It's like, we got these miners that are stuck. We can't teach miners how to drive on ice. And you go, but we can teach these ice guys how to mine. And it's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll watch this. Liam Neeson, go ahead.
Stop laughing.
That is too funny. All right, well, let's move on to a different show, shall we? This is Loudermilk.
I cannot get this shit together here.
We're going to give this originally was an AT&T original series, which you can now watch on Amazon, I believe. And Jennifer,
I'm not good like you guys. I did not.
Loudermilk.
Who watched it? Have you guys seen it?
We haven't seen it.
Go ahead.
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so all of you just have to stop what you're doing right now and just go watch it. That's all I have to say. Do I get to give it like tomato jars?
No, that's just a style thing.
Okay.
I mean, if you
jars.
have 3, 4, or 5 tomato jars, you can.
I don't have them.
If your entire review is go see it, then you didn't earn jars.
I know. I'm gonna give you. Look, I have a sheet. Look, I prepared.
All right.
I'm gonna read something.
Take us through the world of Loudermilk.
Okay, so Sam Loudermilk. I'm gonna read a little synopsis. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a former music critic and recovering alcoholic, is a substance abuse counselor and support group leader who regularly doles out clever, but who cares? Okay, so look, he's a music critic, right? And he reminds me of you, Jeff Dwoskin. He's funny. So you know who it is? It's, what's his name? Ron Livingston. Remember him?
From
what was
Office
he on before?
Space.
From Office Space. Okay.
Dupree?
So what?
It's Duplass, Mark Duplass.
Yes, is that his name? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is. Is that who it is? Help me out, guys. I'm not sure.
His last name is Duplass, yeah.
Yes. So he's just really, really funny, and it's smart and it's witty. The writing is incredible. I don't know who. Am I supposed to know who wrote it? I don't know who wrote it.
No, you
I don't know.
Whatever you do know, just tell us.
Well, everybody's so good at this. I remember. So it's like a dark comedy, but he's a rock critic, and an alcoholic, but it's an ensemble cast. There's great characters. I mean, it's a really good show. It's a great show. And his best friend is an alcoholic. They're all recovering alcoholics. I'm not really doing a great job, but it's really funny. There are some really funny lines. It's like funny line. It really is. But who watched it that said it wasn't their favorite? Someone just told me.
Is it a series or a movie?
It's a series. Oh, it's a TV series. Yes. It's 3 seasons, and I think they're doing a 4th.
It's created by Peter Farrelly.
Yeah.
Yes!
Of the Farrelly brothers.
Oh, yes, I did know that.
Fan,
And I was-
amongst
Yes.
others.
Yeah, I was wrong. You were right. It's actually Ron Livingston is the main guy.
Both brothers involved, or just
Oh,
one
yes.
Farrelly?
Just Peter, it looks like.
No, just Peter Farrelly. Yes, and
Right.
yeah, and then there's a character like that. One of his like the best friends. There's a girl in it that's a sidekick that's amazing. They're all really good. The characters are great. I just loved it. I thought it was really funny. I mean, funny and smart and all that good stuff. So everyone should watch it. I didn't do a really great job, Jeff, but
Ron Livingston's pretty consistently funny and good.
Yeah.
Not just funny, but good. I mean, we talked about it. I mean, he's amazing in Band of Brothers as Lou Nixon. And he's you know what else he was great in? He was great in the Cooler. If anybody saw that,
I agree, Howard. I love that.
he plays the head of the newfangled
Yeah.
casino consortium who gets his ass kicked by Alec Baldwin in a
well, you know what? In this series, he plays the support group, like an Alcoholics Anonymous support group leader. So he's in charge of this group of like what AA, the whole group, right? So it's really it's a great one.
Is his whole journey about overcoming or dealing with past
he's
alcoholism?
recovering. Yes, but he does a good job. But I'm not going to give it away. He does a good job. But his best friend, who's also his sponsor, I don't want to give it away, but it's great.
Okay.
Doesn't do such a great job, but it's great. And then he has his ex-wife is involved, and then he has it's really, the characters are amazing. Each of them is it's interesting. I don't know if I can say this, but each of the characters in the group has some kind of quirky or something kind of wrong with them, but like in a quirky kind of way. So it's interesting. I don't know how I say that like PC, but it's great. The writing's great. It's funny. It's really funny.
It's very similar to this show in that regard.
Yes, like a little quirkiness. Everybody has their
Quirky
own shtick.
We all have something quirky and wrong with us.
Yes. But they all bring something to the table.
Sal and I are usually drunk.
Exactly. But you know what? He's also a little bit, he's sharp-tongued and he's kind of nasty, but in a funny way. But everything he says is like, it's almost like he's, I don't know, I can't explain it. He's just funny. He's great. Jeffy's like you. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll say something that's like
funny. Sorry.
Sarcastic, super sarcastic, right? But
That he
Jeff
is.
funny.
Yeah, we'll
Jeff
give you
is
that.
Yeah. I just
The
please watch it.
Do your mint joke, Sal.
No.
I don't know.
I'll do it for you. The guy who invented the Tic Tac, he made a mint.
That's a dad joke.
Oh man, that's the first time that joke I laughed. All right, let's see what we got here. Wait, no spoilers for you. But do we find out what animal Loudermilk comes from?
It's not a mouse.
Jerry's got all the best lines of the show so far.
It's not a mouse because it's quiet as a mouse,
Right. Well,
Right.
I will say Ron Livingston, one of his more memorable roles, at least in this house, besides Office Space, which is endearing, is he was the guy on Sex and the City that broke up with Carrie with a Post-it note.
He was.
Yeah. Which is a very famous breakup on that show. Which I would expect Jennifer Hurvitz to know.
I did not. I forgot. You're right.
I know. It's sad that I know, but I know.
That is. No, I'm impressed actually.
All right. Now we're going to move on to our next show. It's going to be really very well delivered by someone leaning into their mic.
That would be a phenomenon.
This is about $12 million.
This is a young
Is this that one show where the Muppets come out and just go phenomenon?
It might
Phenomenon.
all the entertainment value this show had in an hour and 10 minutes. I don't like to be a negative person, but this thing on Rotten Tomatoes, it had like an 88% critics. 80. What does that mean? 88% liked it, and something like 90% of viewers. Now, I'm a skeptic. I don't believe in. I believe in UFOs. I don't believe in aliens having been here or here now. I'm not going to get into why, except to say that in a former life, I spent decades in the aerospace and defense world, and I don't have any special knowledge such as Area 51 and all that, but I know a lot of people in the business and a lot of people in the armed forces, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, and all these sightings, especially the ones that are coming out now, or in that last Pentagon report. I don't know if you remember that dropped last week, and that was supposed to be a big bombshell. But basically what they said was, we don't know, because nobody knows. People conflate the term UFO with alien sighting. It's not the same thing. I could, and I do this regularly on my front lawn. I swear to God, I do this in the summer. I attach strobe lights to balloons. I have a helium tank, and I launch them from my front lawn, and those become UFOs in the little town of Northville. Okay, so this is a very earnest documentary, and it's narrated by Peter Coyote. So you would, there's this implied gravitas, right? The bottom line is there's absolutely nothing new here, although they dress it up. They try to put all kinds of bows on it. The bottom line is that it is like every other show that came before it, and ones that will come. There's no proof. There's all kinds of bending of the facts to make it fit the narrative of the show, which is that they want you to believe that these UFOs are from an alien source from outer space. There's been no proof of that. The Pentagon report already said that. I'm like everybody else. I think it would be cool. I'd like to see that there were, benevolent. This is the wine talking. Benevolent aliens, cruising around the earth and kind of scoping us out and lending us technology. But it all comes off after you're halfway through and you realize this is just another episode of Ghost Hunters. and by the way, Ghost Hunt, this is my impression of every Ghost Hunters ever aired. What was that? Okay. So, all right, actually, I have two impressions. This is my second impression of every episode of Ghost Hunters. Hey, Dave, we found a cold spot over here. Yeah, that's right, Greg. You're near the refrigerator. Thank you very much, everybody. Good night. This is a high-priced, very, very grave-sounding, documentary that goes utterly nowhere. It's all warmed-over nonsense. They have Harry Reid for some reason as the guy who's providing, He was
one of the big congressional pushers of
the
UFO search.
Yes, and at the end of the day, it is what they all are. It's a bunch of conjecture. It's a bunch of nonsense. My own personal feeling on all the stuff that's the unexplained aerial phenomenon. I mean, when you look at the history of the most sightings and the most reports to law enforcement, and it always comes around the same time that new technology is coming out and being tested out west. Why doesn't this stuff appear above Connecticut? I'll tell you why, because Area 51 isn't anywhere near Connecticut. So I hate to be that guy that just bursts everybody's bubble, but it's well done if you like that. I mean, if you want to think that these things exist and they're from outer space, then you'll like this. If you have a critical sort of a jaundiced eye like I have gotten over the years, it's just another hour and a half of blah, blah, blah.
Why doesn't a UFO ever land like right before the national championship football game in Miami.
Good question.
Like, why don't they land in that kind of a freaking situation ever?
And another question you have to ask.
Well, good, Bob. Before you go on, because I watched this as well, and I gotta say, I don't agree with you at all. And here's one thing from the show, which I think is irrefutable evidence of UFOs. No, I don't think you can argue that this isn't proof. Zach's like, what's that? But that this is not proof of UFOs.
Well, you know what? That has as much relevance as all the other ones that are reported throughout this thing. And I'm like I said, I'm like everyone else. I'd like to believe there's something cool and something real going on out there. But from everything that I know and from everyone I know that has any attachment to this at all, it's just, it's another ghost hunters. That's all it is. And I'm sorry, but
why do they want us? Is it just another one of those things where they're just trying to distract the public? I mean, that's because they've kind of found that, like, oh, we can come up with any of these Q theories, anything like that, and people just are now eating stuff up. It's like, because people don't understand logic and statistics, right? Like, they found 50 ballots. You telling me this election wasn't so? There was 180 million ballots done. 40 is a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent. It wouldn't even change like anything. It's like it's insane.
The same story now about politicians supposedly being murdered has run now 4 times. It's been Pelosi. Now it's Adam Schiff. It's the same story 4 times. Mm-hmm. But here's the most important thing that I learned from Bob's review. My wife and I have struggled, especially during the pandemic, to especially before being vaccinated.
We have bills for that.
To find fun things to do that are easy to accomplish and do. And don't require going anywhere grand and being around tons of people. If we knew we could get drunk on a Friday night and launch balloons with strobe lights, could you? Just let's put things in perspective. I mean, come on,
cool, man.
That sounds like fun. It does actually. It does sound like fun.
We have grouped a bunch of balloons together, like 12 of them, with each of them with 3 little strobe. They're just little party strobe lights. You launch them up, and the next day people are talking about it in town. Did you see that?
That's fun.
I launched them.
And then that night, if you watch Fox News, there'll be like 3 UFO sites.
Exactly.
Alex Jones will claim it's proof of something.
Please don't tell my kids about that. Let's not tell our kids about that. That is something that would cause problems. It was more realistic version.
Let's see. So it's more of a realistic version of what could happen if we meet aliens, like the first half of the phenomenon.
Oh yeah, and they all smell like cookies, right? Was that Michael? Phenomenon.
That was Michael. Yeah.
They smell like cookies.
And usually the aliens all happen to also look like the ones from Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yes.
That's always a coincidence.
Yeah, by the way, that big tip-off here is that why are all the sightings in black and white? Yeah. Why doesn't anyone have one clear picture?
Yeah.
Why is it always some
it's never an iPhone 12, but a billion.
They shot it on an old flip phone.
A razor.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
A Motorola StarTAC.
Yeah.
Too funny. All right, let's get to another show. Let's talk about.
I should skip that one.
Yes, I want to know about this.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't know about this.
Physical. Work out your issues.
So, all right. So, Physical is a brand new show on Apple TV. 4 episodes in. They did the first 3, and then it's pretty much 1 a week. I watched the first 4 shows, and it was I don't know that I like it, but I know that I'm enthralled by watching it.
What? I can't believe it.
Rose Byrne is excellent, and her character is utterly hateable, but fascinating. She is. So the gist of the show's literally the first minute of the show. She is clearly this, and it's what I'm sure the first season's leading to. She's the star, it seems, of like an 80s like major aerobics, like a Denise Austin or somebody like that
Fonda.
from the 80s. Yeah, Jane Fonda. And almost a Solid Gold-esque aerobic show that it looks like she's on. So they go back to where the show starts. Her and her husband. The gist of the show, though, the driving factor of the show is Rose Byrne. It's a heavy inner monologue show. So mixed in with the dialogue is her inner monologue. You hear, and she's insulting to everybody, especially.
Oh, I would
herself.
love this. I just skipped by it. I thought it was like crap. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it tonight.
So there's a disclaimer before each episode that addresses the fact that the show features a character with a significant eating disorder, which is Rose Byrne, and provides a disclaimer for that, and lets you know, provides a phone number where if you're affected by that, you can call. Her eating disorder is not funny, but it's crazy.
It's funny.
It's
Oh my God.
It's crazy. Like, it's not funny that she's suffering, but the way that, without giving away too much, every day when she's not around her husband, when her husband's at work and she's dropped a kid off at school, she tells herself today's going to be the last day. Today's going to be the last day.
That's probably most women you just so you know.
Yeah. She takes $50 out of the bank every day, goes to Famous Burger, buys 3 famous burgers, 3 fries, and she checks into a hotel.
Oh my!
Sets them up in a line on the bed in the hotel, gets naked, proceeds to jam them down her face, and then it implies that she then throws them up, washes herself up, leaves, and tells herself that's it. Today's last day, and does it all the time.
$50. The 3 burgers are at least $15, $16. Where is she staying for $35?
Oh, it's a shithole. There's no doubt.
She doesn't care.
Anyway, her husband is an absolute
narcissist.
Yeah. Her husband's an absolute narcissist who's trying to launch a political campaign. And somewhere along the line, she sees this woman that she's fascinated by in a convertible, follows her to the mall, and then watches her walk into the mall into an aerobic studio and sees the class and becomes absolutely
enamored.
She gets totally hypnotized by the class, not just from the exercise factor, but from the factor that she feels empowered by it for the first time. And by the 3rd episode, she becomes an instructor.
Don't tell us. I'm going to go watch it. I got to go.
No, it's okay. It's not going to. She becomes an instructor. But it's a real character study show. And again, it's totally driven by her inner monologue. And it's, again, I can't say I loved it, but I couldn't stop watching it, which I guess is the sign of a good show, right? You don't have to love it; you have to be intrigued by it. And I really so Rose Byrne's in it. A comedian named Rory Scovel, who's done some great stuff on Netflix and some other stuff. Very funny guy. He plays her husband. He's really good. Al Madrigal, a stand-up comic who was fantastic. He's got a smaller part in it. He's pretty good. The woman that plays aerobic instructor. Bunny is great. So I really recommend watching it. I love Rose Byrne. I think she's a really good actress. And again, I guess you don't have to love a character to say that she does a great job with the character. You can hate a character or be really conflicted by a character as long as she makes the character her own, and she really does that with this. So I'm excited to see where the rest of the show goes and how she kind of is probably going to grow this aerobic empire. And yeah, it's
I'm so glad you did this one, because I seriously saw it and I started it and I was like, nope, not you. I went right past it. So I'm so glad that you. That's great. I'm excited. I'm going to watch it tonight.
It was intriguing. It's another easy watch. There's short episodes.
I'm running out of things to watch. I'm like, I can't find anything. So thanks.
You just gotta log onto the Netflix Metrix, or you have to watch our show every week.
No, I mean now it's like I had no idea it was this in depth in detail. This is fabulous.
Jen, two shows I know you would love that I reviewed previously. Knowing you, Upload and Made for Love. Made for Love on HBO Max.
I loved it.
Upload is another great one.
I don't know that one.
I haven't seen Upload. Upload's good.
Upload. Did I say? I can't remember where I said that. I think that's Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's Amazon. It's
cool.
Really
because we're running out of. I just watched TV. We're running out. Awesome. This is great. Everybody needs to watch the show. Just so you know, I'm gonna.
There you go.
Well, I just want to mention, because I can't really talk about it because
we can't.
This is a show that you can't talk about. But if you like, this is a David E. Kelly's new show, Big Sky. And it's got a great cast like most of his shows do. Literally can't talk about it because it'll ruin the entire thing if you even just talk about it. But it takes place in Montana, and
it's beautiful. It's a great.
Hence Big Sky,
a lot of blondes, a lot of blondes in the show. It's actually it's interesting so far. I'm 3 episodes in, and it's definitely intriguing. It's definitely intriguing. It keeps you watching.
Keep watching.
A lot of pretty people in Montana. I'm going to have to check that out. And there is...
my kid just got back from there. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
So anyway, we're keeping an eye out on that one. So it's one of the ones we're keeping an eye out on.
Okay.
So, but I've been watching... I'm struggling with the British Bake Off. I know I mentioned
oh my God, it's my favorite show. It's my favorite show.
I know, but once they switched and Mary Berry's not on it anymore,
No, it gets better. Prue's the best. I'm done with it. I finished every one of them. I just finished episode 10. Or
Which one's
season
Prue?
10.
Which one's Prue?
She's in like 9 and 10, 8, 9, and 10 seasons.
Is she the co-host with Paul Hollywood?
Yeah.
I don't think, are they all on Netflix, the ones you're talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like the new comedians that they swapped out with. I mean, British humor is hard enough, but I'm just kidding. I like it, but I like the 2 women that they had, and then
I like the guys. Wait till you see them.
I think you have even different people. I think they change again at some point.
Yeah,
but this one's like a real goth guy, and then
I love him. I like the goth guy. Oh, I love him. Just keep going. I wait to see who wins. I can't stop. I'm obsessed. And I don't even cook.
British Bake Off this is what British Bake Off, because it is so, you don't have to even watch it to enjoy it. I literally
work while I do
power nap through half of it.
Yes.
Wake up as refreshed as can be and enjoy whatever's left of the show.
Absolutely. And the best is I'm like,
and it doesn't even matter. Someone says goodbye, and then I start watching it again next week.
Yes.
It doesn't
the good
matter.
thing is I'm like, oh my God, look what you could do if you knew how to cook. Look what you could do if you knew how to use a stove. That's what I'm excited about.
We're gonna learn.
I've done that. Probably I've watched Ted Lasso 5 times through now.
I need to talk to you about that. You said that on our group text. I never watched anything. Maybe Willy Wonka.
Me either.
Well, I mean, I watched lots of shows 18 times through, but Ted Lasso is like that, Jeff.
I've never seen it.
You've never watched Ted Lasso either?
Jen, it's so good. It's
I
so
don't know
good.
if it's my thing.
No,
you're gonna die. You ready for this? You're all gonna yell at me. I've never watched Game of Thrones.
Well, that's fine.
Thank God. Okay, I got nervous.
I can't get over Game of Thrones. Jen, when I tell you, Ted Lasso will be instantly in your top 5 favorite shows.
Really?
Instantly.
Okay, good, because we need something new.
Instantly.
It's like just it's like soaking in a tub of warm lotion. It's like it's just so comforting as a show. It's funny, but it just is. It's just you feel good watching the show. It's Jason Sudeikis.
I love him.
Created. Yeah, it's
Okay,
amazing.
What about Peaky Blinders?
I've never seen Peaky Blinders. Ron loved Peaky Blinders.
Ron loved Peaky
Okay, yeah, my kids love.
chime
Both
in.
my guys
I
love.
started to watch Peaky Blinders, but then it just got, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't finish
Oh,
it.
but
hard to
they
understand.
have the new prequel for the Sopranos. They just ran the, and I think the
No,
person
I
who plays
first.
Tony is his kid in real
It
life.
is.
isn't
It's
it?
Yeah.
Gandolfini's kid. The trailer came out yesterday. I was going to mention that 2 trailers came out this week. That was one. It's unbelievable, the trailer. But I didn't realize, like, I knew they had cast his son.
Wait,
So
the
it's a prequel to,
Yeah.
it's Tony
So
Soprano as a
little bit,
teenager.
or, you know.
Yeah.
no.
So, but
he-
Gandolfini's son in real life plays him as a young kid. But
cannot.
some of the other casting, Billy Magnuson from Made for Love, he plays a young Paulie Walnuts. Like, that's so perfect. Corey Stoll, who is, been in a bunch of stuff. He was in Ant-Man. He was in the last season of Billions. He plays a younger version of Uncle Junior, and you can see him in the preview. He looks exact. Vera Farmiga plays a young Livia Soprano, Tony's mom. She's amazing in the trailer.
Wait,
So
where's the trailer?
wait.
Where did you see?
Anywhere, just Google it.
There's
I'm gonna
a thing.
Google it.
I don't know if your computer is connected to the internet, but
Yes.
there's a thing. It's like,
Listen,
I
you
don't
know what? I'm a very busy
It's
woman.
Lugal. It's
Yeah.
called Lugal. And then the other trailer that came out, was the second trailer for Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings. That
What
came out
was
this
that?
week.
Never heard of that.
And
Bless you. What is that?
It's a Marvel movie, and
Oh,
the
I
first
love
trailer
Marvel. Yeah.
the first trailer was good. The second trailer was ridiculously good.
Very
well,
good.
everyone was like, that's Abomination and Wong.
Yeah, more
And then
trailers
Kevin
than
Feige came out and go, it looks like those two characters because it is.
Yeah.
Right. He confirmed it. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That's insane.
Yeah. No, those two trailers looking.
You guys really know your television.
I know.
That's
It's
we're
scary,
professionals, Jen. That's
You
why
really,
we're professionals.
Yep.
clearly.
All right. All right.
Well,
This has been hilariously fun. I want to thank everyone for joining us on our third episode. Yes. As you can see,
Sing.
hopefully I don't get sued by iStock. But the
I stuck. I stuck.
it was anyway. Anyway, it was a great. Just as a reminder, don't forget to check out Jen's podcast, but also Some
thank you.
Nobodies, Sal and Bob show.
Sal and
Live
Bob
from Detroit.
Third in the nation, baby.
Live from Detroit, the Jeff Dwoskin show. Check all our podcasts out. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook, and to watch the show live. Jen, remind everyone
Thank you,
again
guys.
about your podcast.
Oh,
and
you're
say
so
goodnight.
sweet. Thank you. It's called Doing Relationships Right, and good night, everybody. Happy 30th. Yay.
Yay!
It's so fun,
Sal, say goodnight for both of you.
Good night, everybody. Happy 30th, Jeff.
If you're in Waterford, Michigan next week, come and see me at One Night Stand Comedy Club, July.
Oh, yay.
Excellent.
Just don't go if you're affected by strobe lighting.
That's right. Been launching them from the stage.
Oh man, Zach, say goodnight to everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Howard Rosner, say goodnight to everyone.
Peace out, everyone.
Peace out.
Bye,
And I am
guys.
Jeff Dwoskin. Thank you guys once again for joining us. We're here every Wednesday, 9:30
fun.
p.m. Eastern Time, crossing the streams. And we'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Crossing the Streams, brought to you by scenesnobs.com and part of the Jeff Dwoskin Show. Your hosts, of course, Jeff Dwoskin, Sal D'Amelio, Bob Phillips, Ron Lippett, and Howard Rosner. Follow us all on the socials, and we'll see you next week and every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Mark your calendars. We're going live and crossing more streams.